Radio Calling. I am Sam, your host, and this is the music portion of my podcast. Now, today we will continue with my phone conversation with my best friend Tim. We'll talk about how we met, essentially, and what started us to be becoming a band and forming a band of our own. And we'll touch on Tim's influence or his favorite guitarist that he likes to imitate or listen to just over and over again. And we'll also talk about Guitar Hero and Rock Band and how that kind of bridged the gap between video game fans and fans of music. So without further ado, here is part 2 of my phone conversation with my best friend Tim.
Now, do you remember how you and I met?
Vaguely, and we talked about doing this, and we would talk about it, and I tried to think back, and I have not a very good memory. Some things I remember very well, and other things I don't. And I remember, like, obviously, I came to Marion. I was playing soccer, and obviously we met through the soccer team because you're the manager.
Yes.
And I remember, like, one, I thought you were way older than me.
Really?
To begin. Yeah. I thought, like, you were, like, an upperclassman.
Well, I am older than you, but not that much older.
Right. Like, just by, like, birth year, you're, like, a year older than me or something.
Yeah,
but,
something like that.
Like, we were in the same year. But, yeah, I thought, like, I don't know, I just thought you were older because, like, you were, like, part of the team, like, you knew CP and like everybody, and obviously I didn't know that you had been involved in Marion your whole life.
Yeah.
So I thought you were way older, and I'm pretty sure it was CP, Coach Paltonen, who was like, "Oh, Tim, you play guitar? Well, Sam I am plays guitar too." he probably said something like that.
Sounds right.
And I was like, okay, like, I was like, this dude's like way older than me. Like, why are you telling me this? I still didn't know you were. I thought you like actually like works for that, or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like I don't know, like, all right. And that's really all I remember. I don't know if I remember like the first time we ever like played together.
I kind of remember it. I kind of don't. See, here's what I remember. I remember, okay, so those first like 2 weeks when school starts, everybody's got their doors open in the dorms.
Yeah.
Everybody's being friendly. And I remember I lived on the second floor, you lived on the first floor, and I was visiting one of my friends on the girls' side. And I was walking back to get to the stairs, and I saw you were sitting on your futon and you had your guitar out. And I think I came in and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up? I think aren't you on the soccer team? I know you. You're Tim." And then it blossomed from there. And then I think you or I said the words that every like musician player says, and it was we should jam together sometime.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And then it just I don't remember what we played that first time or what we even like kind of bonded over, but I remember I just clicked with you instantly.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. I don't know. And maybe part of it was, and I don't remember if this is actually true, but I'm just assuming, like, I didn't really go out that much.
Yeah.
And, you didn't really go out that much. So maybe that's part of it, is like, we were just so like bored that like on those nights where everyone else was gone, like, and it wasn't just like necessarily you and me hanging out, but like everyone that was there, like we would hang out. So we just saw each other more than like we would have if like I was going out all the time and partying, or you were going out all the time and partying. Yeah. And like I said, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, the first time we played together, but
I don't know.
It might have started like instantly, like, oh, we should start a band. Like,
I think that was like one of the first conversations we had.
Probably.
We should start a band.
Start a band. and that's what Electric Love was born.
Yeah, the short-lived band. We were only together what, a year or two,
maybe. Yeah, probably.
Because then you moved away. Because you and I lived. How long do we live together? 3 months? 4 months?
I think it was a semester.
So
start of the soccer season, our sophomore year.
So August till like December?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Somewhere around there?
That sounds right.
How many months is that? You do the math.
August, September, no. It's probably like between 4 and 5.
Okay. Close enough. And then Electric Love kind of disbanded then. And then
Yeah.
You were in Madison this whole time, and then I moved to Oklahoma, and then I remember I told you all my gear got damaged.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying, you should get all this new gear, and I should come down and we should play a couple songs or whatever, or we should test out this new gear.
Right.
And that's kind of how Dylan Bound started.
Yeah, Dylan Bound. And part of it was you had found the site where you could make your own vinyl.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
And you were like, oh, I'm going to make a vinyl of, I think the original idea was to do it with like a mixtape kind of.
Yeah.
Like you're going to take a bunch of songs and put them on vinyl.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, then we found out that you couldn't put other people's music on it, without the rights.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So I was like, we were like, okay, well, what if we just wrote a bunch of songs and made an album? And then I think that's kind of how it started.
Yeah. And so when did we start that plan? Like January?
Well, we just kind of passed the 1 year.
We did.
Anniversary of it, which was probably earlier in the year 2016.
Yeah. Because I remember all my stuff got damaged after I came back from Christmas break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we were trying to think of a name, and for the people out there who don't know the secret behind Dylan Bound, obviously one of the things that we've bonded over the most has been Friday Night Lights, TV show.
Yes.
So Dylan Bound is a nod to Dillon, Texas, where it's set. And we were trying to think of different names. I don't even remember what some of the other ones were.
I was just trying to think of that too. I don't remember any of the other names we were trying to think of.
There were a couple out there floating around that all had to do with Friday Night Lights. But yeah, Dylan Bound, that one stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one. And then you and I started exchanging music ideas basically through text messages and just went from there. And then we just hashed it out over, a day and a half is when we actually did all the stuff?
Yeah, it was, like you said, it was those couple months of sending each other little riffs of recordings and, hey, this might be an idea. And I think part of it was obviously we had to travel and I was going to come to you, so you didn't have to move your stuff, of course.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, we'll have to do it in a day because I just the way it worked out.
Yeah.
You didn't have a ton of time.
Yeah, we're both busy.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll come down. I came down on a Saturday after work. I got there probably, 8 o'clock maybe.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
And then we prepped a little bit. I remember I probably only had about 25% of the lyrics done.
Yes. And we kind of filled out the rest of the lyrics.
Yeah. I think we finished lyrics that night, if not most of them.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if we recorded anything. I don't think we recorded anything.
We did.
So the first night was really prep, and then we got up the next day and banged it out. And it was, we probably finished, it's probably about 8 o'clock again, the Sunday night.
Yeah.
So the whole process was probably 24 hours.
Yeah.
Actual recording was maybe 12.
Yeah. And then we had to do, overdubs and retakes and stuff like that after. But we got the bulk of everything done basically in a day.
Basically in a day. Which is crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, I told you, Beatles did it in 12 hours or somewhere like that, their first album. But
and we are as good as them.
Yeah.
So
yes.
So it makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
But that was like, that was like a really cool experience, because really the only music I had written before that was all like just by myself and like, acoustic songs. And that was really the first time that I've written anything, at least anything halfway decent, like that we could really like collaborate on and have like a full band on it.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's just me and you on that album. It's just you playing guitar and vocals and adding background vocals and stuff like that, and I fill in with drums, bass, and whatever else.
Yeah. So like just having the ability to write songs and like have the flexibility of doing that was different, and like in a good way. It was awesome. Right.
Well, I've told you this before. I love all the songs that we did. I think you're a great lyricist. I mean,
thanks.
I didn't really contribute much to your lyrical genius, but I put in a couple words but or stuff of that nature.
Hey, but that's the glue, man. Yes. That's the glue to the song.
It is. But I mean, you wrote most of those songs. I would say about 95% of those songs are you.
Yeah, and some of it is total nonsense.
But it works.
Yes. And, it was one of those things where I struggled over it for a long time, like the entire process before we, got to your house and started actually like thinking about it.
Yeah.
And recording. I think Alone, I think we had most of it, maybe not the bridge.
Yeah.
Or something, or we needed like another verse. Morning Rain wasn't done at all.
No, it wasn't.
There wasn't anything to that. I had like a real basic idea of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I actually changed it all. Like the recording you hear wasn't at all what I had planned.
Yeah.
But let's see what else. I mean, the covers, well, those aren't on the album, but the covers were easy, of course.
Yes.
To do.
Yes.
Not My Time wasn't done. It was probably about halfway done.
No. Yeah.
All of These Years was maybe that one was done, but that one's like a minute long. So.
Yeah. That was probably, I told you that was probably the hardest one for me to do, because I think I would always send you like the drum track after, and you'd always say, "Oh, it's off time," and then I would have to go back and redo it, which was I don't think I've ever played that fast before and tried to stay in time, because that beat was how many beats per minute was that? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It was a lot though, and that's another one where I don't think that's what we had originally planned on doing.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it was meant to be that fast. We had the riff, and that's actually the first riff that we ever wrote.
Yes, that is all these correct.
Years. And that is one that you had sent to me.
Yes.
Or some baby of it.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like the nugget of idea came from that.
Yeah.
And it was it turned into really fast, and we were just like, okay, it's too fast to do a whole song.
Yes.
So it's going to be like a minute long or whatever.
Yes.
I'm looking at it right now. It's 190 beats per minute.
God.
So that's really fast.
That is really fast.
But it turned out really good. And so our original idea was to do the guitar solo and then a dueling drum solo.
Yeah, that's right.
and it ended up not working because it was
too fast.
It's too fast. And like, not to any fault of you, but like just the speed I was at, nothing would sound right.
Right.
Yeah. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
And then you never told me that you were going to do guitar solos, and you sent it to me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I was expecting obviously expecting a drum solo.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's badass. Like, it sounded really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, and looking back, I'm so glad we did it that way.
Yeah. Well, I had tried to do, a drum solo in that area, and I kept on doing it, and I thought I was in time, and then I'd go back and listen to it, and it was completely off.
Yeah.
It was so terrible. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just play guitar solo here.
Yeah. And I think after the summer was the last one.
Yeah.
I think maybe after the summer the lyrics were done, but it was going to be a completely different song again.
Because we were going for like a Blink 182 type vibe for that song, and then I think you said it was just the way the lyrics were phrased and how the words were put in there, it didn't fit with the speed or whatever that we were going at, so you switched it. Yeah,
and because I had trouble, I had this idea in my mind of how I wanted it to sound, and I got caught up in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want it to sound this way. I want it to sound like you said, like Blink-182, and in my mind I was like, it was supposed to be like a fast rock song, and I was like, in my mind I sounded like Dave Grohl, but I wasn't. But I would never get anywhere near that.
Right.
So when I sang it, I sounded like a 12-year-old trying to sing like a punk song, and it didn't work. And I kept trying, and I was like, this would be a good one to do, like, slow it down, do it acoustic.
Yes.
And it worked out, I think.
Yeah, and you did that one all yourself. I mean, you told me you were going to do it acoustic, and then you sent it to me, and I was like, oh my God, there's nothing that I need to add to this because I think it just sounds great, you and acoustic guitar.
Yeah, and I think we kicked around the ideas of doing, like, what if we, do, like, piano.
Yeah, because I tried playing piano to it, and it didn't sound, well, let me back up. I'm not the greatest piano player, first of all. So that was a problem. And then I tried to play it with piano, and it didn't sound right, so I just... Yeah.
And I think at one point I had worked out a piano part, and then I don't have a piano, obviously.
Yeah.
So I was doing it at work, and I was like, oh, that might sound good. And then it got to the point where it was like, all right, we want to like release it, and I just never did it, really. Right. but I think it worked out for the best. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah. That's Morning Rain and After the Summer are probably my two favorite songs on that album.
Yeah.
Granted, all of them are really good songs. They all have. I mean, all the songs show our different influences and our different like genres that we like. Like
absolutely.
After the Summer is kind of like a James Taylor, Cat Stevens type song, and then you have like Morning Rain, which is more like a Coldplay type song, and then you have Not My Time, which was kind of like a Black Keys type song, and then what was the fast one? The fast one.
All These Years.
Yes, that's Foo Fighters.
It's totally Foo Fighters. Yeah.
So you can see our influences.
Yeah, and I think and we've talked about this before, but I think like if we had been like, all right, we're gonna be a blues band or a blues rock or a rock band, and I don't think it would have worked.
No,
because like you said, like there's we have a lot of different influences, and I think like it just wouldn't have worked if they all sounded the same,
right?
Or they were all in the same style. And I think like and it's not like we're putting out an album every year or whatever, and like we have this like genre to stick to,
right?
We're an alt band and blah blah blah. So I think you're right, and it definitely worked out that way. Where it was like, I remember at the time writing "Not My Time," I was really into the Black Keys.
Yeah.
And like, we've listened to Black Keys for a long time, but like,
yeah,
I was really listening to them, and it just kind of worked out that way. Like during that time, that's what I was listening to, so that's what I wrote.
Yeah.
And then and it just kind of worked out.
Yeah. And you see different bands, they touch on their influences. The Clash is one that sticks out to my mind, where they wouldn't stick to just punk rock. They would do ska, they would do reggae, they would do kind of like kind of hip hop disco type stuff too. And that's because that's what they were listening to at the time, and that's what they kind of were influences by. So, I mean, it definitely works.
It did. I think it did.
Yeah. And I love it. I mean, it's one of those things where not a lot of people have a record.
Yeah.
And to actually hold a record you worked on and you produced, it's amazing.
Absolutely. And, I think it kind of gives, I think everyone can listen to it and find something that, they like. It might not love every song, but because every song is so different, I think a wide group of people could listen to it.
Exactly.
And find at least one, if not all of them, that they enjoy.
Yes. Yeah. Well, tell me. I was telling you this earlier. Your top 5 favorite guitarists of all time. And I told you I only got through 3. So if you can only give me 3, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll give you my top 3, and then I'll tell you, because it kind of rotates.
Okay.
It depends who I'm listening to.
Yeah.
So, top 3, John Mayer, because listening to the reason I like John Mayer, one of the reasons, is because he's so diverse and he can do anything.
Right.
He's a fantastic acoustic player, and he can just play an acoustic guitar and sing, and it sounds great. And then, I mean, he can absolutely shred when he wants to.
Right.
And, he plays blues, and he can do rock, and he can do funk, and he can do all these different things.
Right.
So, like, listening to him is different every time. Even if you've heard, I've heard of all of his songs, hundreds of times, but, you can always, depending on the day, depending on your mood, you can always find something that's different.
Right.
So that's number 1. Number 2, like I said before, John Frusciante, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
I wish he was still around. I wish he was still with them, but watching like just his energy, and like he's another one where he could absolutely tear it up with Red Hot Chili Peppers. And he's got his like solo albums that are really good. And he also does a lot of like really weird stuff, that he went through, like, through his drug addiction and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of really weird stuff out there if you want to listen to it, but, and then 3, who we haven't talked about yet, surprisingly, is Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh, yes. Oh, I was trying to think who would be on your top, and I thought of him right away.
Stevie Ray.
Yes.
So, this already, but my family, basically, I grew up, but started in Austin, Texas. That's where my brother and my sister were born. My dad went to UT. And obviously that's where Stevie Ray Vaughan is from.
Yeah.
So my dad listened to a lot of him. My sister listened to a lot of him. I've got some sort of connection to him.
Right.
And I mean, you can't watch him and not just be blown away every single time.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of natural ability is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the way he makes it look so effortless.
Yes.
Is
crazy.
Unbelievable. Just everything he does. And yeah, it's one of those things you can't even explain. He does just that.
Yes,
that's how good he is.
I agree.
But yeah, he's definitely in my top 3.
Yeah. He makes the list on mine too as well.
Yeah, good. And I remember not one of the first guitar videos I ever saw, but one of the ones that sticks out in my mind is him. I think it was Texas Flood, and switching and doing the behind the back solo.
Yes. I remember when Electric Love was together, you were gonna try and do that during one of the concerts.
I was gonna try, but I chickened out.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen it, people out there, go look it up.
Yes.
It's absolutely incredible. I'm gonna try and find the title.
It's hard to find, that clip because Stevie Ray Vaughan's estate has they're very anti YouTube, or they're anti YouTube on like his DVD concerts. So like his what is it? He's at the El Macabopo or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I just butchered that name, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but that one, that one you can't find on YouTube. I think his one from Austin City Limits, both of them you can't find, or you can only find a couple songs of that.
Right.
But most of those you can't find like live performance unless you find someone that has a bootleg of it who's put it on YouTube and has just gone through the copyright laws or whatever.
Yeah. And I'm sure I'm sure he's done it a number of times.
Oh,
probably. Yeah. But the one I'm pretty sure the one in my mind is Texas Flood at Austin City Limits.
Yes.
I think I know which one you're
talking about. Too.
Yeah. Just unreal.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
crazy.
unreal.
It's crazy.
One of the many artists who were taken well before.
Oh yes, I agree.
They should have gone because.
And he wasn't it was a helicopter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Because I think the rumor was Clapton was supposed to be on that same helicopter with him.
Yes. That is also what I've heard.
Elected to go on a bus or take something other because they were performing in Wisconsin. They were in.
Yeah.
I don't remember where.
Is that Alpine Valley?
Yes. And they were going to perform. I can't remember where their next performance was, but they were going to take a helicopter out of there.
Yep.
And Eric Clapton elected to take a bus or whatever for some other reason, and Stevie Ray Vaughan got on the helicopter, and I think it hit a hill or a mountain or something.
Yes, I think it was a hill. I'm kind of skimming over the article, and yes, it was a hill. They had landed on a golf course, and there's a giant hill next to the golf course, and he had tried to fly around it and hit the golf course. And also reading this, it says in Clapton's autobiography that there are the rumors but he did not give up his seat to Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. There were three of Clapton's entourage were on board as well. And everybody, I think the pilot survived, but everybody else died.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Clapton got on that helicopter and we lost Clapton too? That'd be terrible.
It'd be terrible.
Because what year was that? It was
1990.
So that's before, I think, his Clapton's Unplugged album.
Yeah,
that
probably.
Came out like 95 or 96, somewhere around there.
Sure.
I could be wrong on those. Somewhere in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But that's before Tears in Heaven too. I mean, that song's fabulous.
Yeah, absolutely. It would have been horrible.
Yes. Well, you see that a lot. I alluded to this in one of my other episodes. The unsung hero, or the not unsung hero, but the kind of common theme of rock and roll is someone dies in a plane crash, helicopter crash, or like some sort of accident with airplanes or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
And you see a lot of people that have have a spot on this plane that crashes, and then they give it up to someone else. I think Buddy Holly, and I can't remember who else was supposed to get the spot on the plane, but Buddy Holly and this other guy flipped a coin to see who gets on the plane, and Buddy Holly won, and he got on the plane, and then the plane crashed.
Jeez, that's awful.
It's crazy.
And going along on that theme, and you probably know this, but Travis Barker, drummer from Blink-182, was in a plane crash. He survived, of course.
Yes.
But some of his entourage died, if I'm not mistaken, his manager or something. And now he refuses to fly now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know this. I will not fly. I won't fly anywhere.
I do. I'll get you to fly eventually.
Good luck with that. But I mean, that's going to the Travis Barker thing. That was one of the reasons why Blink-182 got back together. From what I heard, is because he had this revelation or something that he should get back with Blink-182, and then they put out that most recent album.
Yeah,
which is pretty good.
I don't mind it. That's without getting too much into it. Obviously, I listen to them a lot. You know, I like the original three.
Yes.
Obviously, there's a ton of drama involved in that whole situation. Yes. Breaking up, getting back together, breaking up again.
Yes.
And I don't know if we'll ever know the full story behind it.
I don't think so.
Why Tom quit or was kicked out or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, Enema of the State is, you know, an awesome album.
Yes.
It's gonna, you know, stand the test of time as far as like
you played that album for me.
Maybe
because you had it on your Xbox, or you had one of the Blink-182 albums on your Xbox, and that was one of the times when you and I were living together, and you would play FIFA, and then I would play video games at the same time, and
yeah, and we'd get angry at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. And then you put on that album, and that was the first time I've actually listened to like a Blink-182 album all the way through.
Yeah,
and I think I have that whole album on my iPod now.
Yeah. It's a great album. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, also a great album.
Yes. That might have been the one.
I think that might have been it.
Yes.
Yeah. And their early stuff is really good too.
Yes. I like their earlier stuff too.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they've, you know, their newest album, California, it's good. I think, like, so the one they put out before it, Neighborhoods, I think, it was a little bit, you know, different. You could kind of see, like, after Tom went to Angels and Airwaves, and
yes,
you know,
a lot of that influence in there.
A lot of that influence. So I think California, regardless of Tom not being there, Matt Skiba coming in, it sounded to me more like classic Blink-182.
Yes,
but obviously
missing one of the main ingredients.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's probably one of those things where it's split. Like probably half of Blink-182 fans hate it,
right,
and the other half like it.
Yes,
but
that's the case for Green Day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anything Green Day puts out, people hate it or they love it.
I love it. Yeah. I never fully got into Green Day because no particular reason, but that was the era of like me listening to, again, Blink-182, like Sum 41.
Yeah.
Those kind of bands. Yes. And obviously Green Day was a part of that.
Yes.
Like kind of group. So yeah, I think, I probably learned a couple of their songs, but I don't know. I've never really fully got into them. I don't know why.
I remember when American Idiot came out.
Mm-hmm.
That was like when everybody listened to Green Day.
Yes.
And everybody was getting into Green Day, and that's when I remember that's when everybody was wearing Etnies shoes and wearing Hot Topic was big too back then too.
Go to Hot Topic and get your My Chemical Romance shirt.
Yes. And yes, My Chemical Romance. That's another one that was big during that time, and Fall Out Boy too.
Fall Out Boy, and Fall Out Boy, I was really into. Ben turned me on to them From Underneath the Cork Tree will probably always be one of my favorite albums. It's fantastic.
I've never gotten into Fall Out Boy.
That's probably one of the bands that took a turn for me that I don't really listen to them anymore. Not that they're really around anymore.
Are they still together?
Maybe, yeah.
Because
again, everything they've put out in the past,
yeah,
whatever, however long, 5-10 years has not been.
I don't know.
Very good. So.
Well, is what is his name? The bassist Pete.
Pete Wentz.
Is he still married to what's her face, Ashley Simpson, or are they divorced?
I don't know. They're probably divorced.
Because
I'm sure it didn't last very long.
No. Well, the singer for Sum 41, he's married to Avril Lavigne, or was at
he
some
was,
point.
yeah.
Are they divorced too?
Probably.
I don't know.
She also married the dude from Nickelback. So
who did?
I mean, Avril Lavigne.
Did she really?
I think so.
What is she trying to do? Kill her career?
Well, she did a good job. If that's what she was trying.
That's probably succeeded in that.
Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and I think it was like incredibly, incredibly short.
Good Lord.
Let's see. 2 years of marriage, so I mean, not the shortest celebrity marriage out there, but yeah,
not Kim Kardashian, Chris Humphries short.
Yeah.
Idiots.
It's a bunch of idiots.
Oh my goodness. All right, I think that's everything.
Oh, we never got to my other ones.
Oh yes.
I did my top 3, and then we left on a tangent.
Yes, we did.
So, I'm trying to think of else. I mean, the standards: Jimi Hendrix, Clapton. Those will always be up there.
Yeah.
Someone who I've gotten more into within the past year or two, Gary Clark Jr.
Oh yes. You've told me that one.
Yeah, awesome blues guitarist. I don't think he would. I'm pretty sure he would go watch Stevie Ray Vaughan because he's from Austin.
Yes. Well, he would jam with his older brother, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy Vaughan. Yeah. And that's like how he got started, basically.
Right.
Playing the same clubs as Jimmy Vaughan. So he's fantastic. Who else? I mean, we can't really not talk about Foo Fighters.
That's true.
Even though, Chris Shiflett is a fantastic guitarist.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. He's probably not one of my main guitar influences, but the band as a whole.
Yes, I would agree with that. I think the whole band as a whole, minus Pat. Hate Pat.
You and Pat.
I hate him so much. He's
you and Pat Smear.
But yes, I would say as like a musical influence on what they do musically, I would say Foo Fighters is one that ranked up there for me.
Definitely. They're definitely in my top probably my top 3 favorite bands.
Yes.
Artists. I mean, Dave Grohl is fantastic.
Yes.
They're all good. They're all good.
Yes.
I think I'm sure there's more. I went through my phases of different bands and liking different guitar players, but that's probably about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all go through phases. There was a phase where I was really into like hair metal. So not Poison and Motley Crue, but I was big into Guns N' Roses. This was back when I was into Green Day and stuff like that, and someone gave me like their Guns N' Roses greatest hits so I could put it on my iTunes. But I don't know, you go through phases, and
yeah,
I'm trying to think of when we talked about Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm trying to think of when I kind of discovered him, and I think it was my dad who said, if you like Jimi Hendrix, you need to check out this guy Stevie Ray Vaughan, who's kind of And then I remember him saying that, and then just being like, yeah, okay, I'll get to it, whatever.
Right.
I'll
whatever,
listen to
Dad.
him eventually. Yes.
Yeah.
And I did that for I want to say 2 years or so, and then I don't remember how I what song I heard of Stevie Ray Vaughan's that I heard first, but I just remember maybe he was covering Hendrix. Maybe that was the first song that I heard. He was playing Hendrix.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I saw him, and then the whole game changed. And I think when I met you, you and I discussed how we like Stevie Ray Vaughan as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that's about it. And I mean, part of it was around the time that I was learning guitar. Maybe it's probably around that time was, as cheesy as it sounds, like the Guitar Hero games and like Rock Band.
Yes.
So like,
yes.
As people can say whatever they want about those games, but like it really did open you up to like new music that you'd never heard before.
Yes.
So I learned, like I heard a lot of songs on there that I was like, well, that's really cool. I want to go learn that.
Yeah.
On real guitar.
Yes. Yes. I remember Guitar Hero 2 and then Guitar Hero 3 were the ones that really had a wide variety of genres. There was some country on there. There was a lot of rock. Freebird was on there, which was always tough to play.
Yeah, it was like the last. It was like the last song in the
yes,
set.
But there was also like thrash metal on there.
Yeah,
Megadeth, and then
some like Slayer, maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember the other ones that were on there.
Yeah.
But I love those games.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and it's like I said, regardless of what you think about it, of like. Some guitarists were like, "Oh, it's not real guitar,
right?
Whatever, you're not." But it was super fun, and it turned you on to so many
and it bridges the gap for so many people that love video games, but wasn't really sure of what to like for music, and you see a lot of people that come together over Guitar Hero because they love the music that's on there, but they're also avid gamers, and they also love to play video games.
Right. And it took the two cultures and kind of, because, there's probably some out there, but that was probably the first like big music video game.
Yes.
That really blew up. I mean, like, I don't know. There was probably like Dance Dance Revolution before that.
Yeah.
But like, that's a different thing. Like, and like I said, there's probably others, but yeah, that's probably the first one that like blew up.
Because that's the one that I remember, and then I remember it spawned like the Rock Band, and then what was the other one? There was like Band Hero or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
The knockoff brands, but then they gave Rock Band really gave Beatles Rock Band, so you could play all the Beatles songs, and then they had like Country Rock Band for people that like country, and then I think they put out Green Day Rock Band for Green Day, and then Metallica went to Guitar Hero, and they put out Guitar Hero Metallica, and Aerosmith had their own Guitar Hero as well.
That's right.
I mean, again, bridging the gap where classic fans of these bands like this music, and now they get to kind of be these people and play their songs.
Right. Yeah, and it was a awesome, like, you got together with a bunch of people. You didn't have to be a musician to play it. Like, it's what it is. Like, it's really just hitting buttons, it's playing a video game. But like, regardless of your musical talent, like, you could still, like, the four of you play a song and be like, wow, we just like, in the
anyway, it was great because you could get a bunch of people together. I mean, a bunch of it was with the Rock Band because you could play multiple instruments.
Right.
But you would get together with your friends and you would try to play these songs together and beat like the career mode or whatever.
Yeah,
or beat like the toughest song on the disc.
We almost a couple of soccer buddies and I in high school, we had this idea. It never actually came to fruition, but we practiced this song on Rock Band. I'm pretty sure you're going to hate this, but it was Bon Jovi. I want to say Wanted Dead or Alive, probably.
course. I hate this.
And our idea was to do Battle of the Bands, but like rock band. So we were going to plug it in, get like a projector on the screen, and like, dress up and do Battle of the Bands as on Rock Band. It never happened. And yeah, I know, cool story, but yeah, I don't know. That's about it. Our name was going to be our name was Rubik's Sphere, like Rubik's Cube, or Rubik's Sphere. Yeah.
You and these obscure names.
We were really cool.
Well, I don't think I've ever told you this, but me and my buddy Johnny, back when I was in high school, he was a year younger than me, but he was big into Guitar Hero, and he was big into music. He was a big fan of AC/DC and stuff like that. But I remember one time, he was great at, he could play Through the Fire and Flames on Expert with the hyper speed and all this stuff. And I remember one time we decided we were going to play Metallica, the whole Guitar Hero Metallica, all the way through, all night.
Wow.
And I remember I was on drums, he was playing guitar, and I remember when we stopped, we ended at like 6 a.m. the next morning or whatever, because we kept on failing, playing Master of Puppets and stuff like that. But,
yeah, of course, yeah.
But I remember I looked away from the screen, and like the walls were like moving, like the scrolls and stuff like that, because I was just I that was the only thing I did. I didn't go to the bathroom. I didn't eat. I also drinking was Mountain Dew, so I was like all hyper, and oh my god, that screwed me up so much. Like it
totally did that. Like, yeah, every time you play Guitar Hero, it could be one song, it didn't matter, and you would look at the walls, and they would be like you're on like acid or something, and just like squiggly. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it was crazy. Did we ever play Guitar Hero together?
We played I think we played a couple songs of Rock Band, but I don't think we ever played Guitar Hero.
Yeah, because that was probably, I would guess I probably didn't bring it to school. Yeah, it's probably too much to bring to Marion.
Yeah.
So,
I still have the drum set for Rock Band.
We should play that.
I don't have the guitar, and I'm trying to look on Amazon for the guitar and stuff like that, and they're all new, and they're all like $100. I don't want to.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I'm gonna have to make a trip to GameStop soon. So.
I had my 360, but I sold it a couple years ago. Huh. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I have one. I'm looking at it right now.
Guitar?
I have it. Yeah, I have
you
a
have
guitar.
one of the guitars?
Yeah. It's in our Goodwill pile.
Oh. Well, get it out of that pile.
Pull it out real quick here. Oh, it's a Rock Band. It's a Rock Band guitar.
Does it?
One of them works with the other, but not the other way, and I can't remember which one it is. I'm pretty sure Guitar Hero works with Rock Band, but not the other way around.
Yes. I think that's right. Actually, I think they work with both, because I've done it before.
Okay. Maybe it was the early ones that didn't work together.
Yeah.
Huh. Well.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of Radio Calling in the books. I am your host, Sam. Join me Tuesday when I discuss my sports aspect of my podcast. Now, Dylan Bound and all of the things that Tim and I mentioned in this episode will be linked in the description below this video. So if you would like to check out Dylan Bound, or you would like to check out any of the videos that we kind of touched on, or anything like that, I will post those in the description below. Again, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at LondonCalling22, all one word, and we will see you on Tuesday.